Okay, how's it going? This is a tutorial for making a bucket setup for learning circles in gymnastics. And this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment in the entire gym, and I think also the most underutilized pieces of equipment. It can be used not just for men for learning circles for the pommel horse, but I think it should also be used for women's gymnastics as well, because men are on their hands quite often in gymnastics, especially on the P-bars, especially on the pommel horse. And so this is great for conditioning and strengthening the wrist. It's also a great core builder because you're hitting the core from all different sides, from front, back, both the right side and the left side. And it's pretty much hands-off. Once you spot the kids the first couple times and they learn the correct positions, you can just tell them, all right, go do 50, 100, 200 circles in the bucket, and do them to the right, do them to the left. So it's also good for building coordination. And this is the design that I have just been experimenting with. So first thing you're going to need is, well, at least for this design, it's quite high-end. You're going to need a spinning belt. Now, here in the gym, I'm quite lucky because there's actually 3 spinning belts that no one is using and that I claimed, and now I've got 3 different bucket setups throughout the whole of the gym. So we have all the kids just doing circles consistently in these bad boys. You can get 2 different types of buckets. You can either get like a plastic bucket, and I recommend one that does not bend, so it's quite stiff. If it bends too much and it kinks, then it's not going to be able to stay fast with the spinning belt and keep it moving. You can also use metal as well. You just have to make sure that there's no sharp sides, so I've covered this with tape. And I like the metal one because it's pretty much not going to break, whereas someone has broken my nice bucket over here. And what I like to do is I take the spinning belt and I actually tie it to the loops on the outside so the bucket can't come out of the belt. Okay, so these spinning belts are just typically used for twisting. They're actually twisting belts that I've just repurposed. I've just laid them on the side and connected a carabiner to it. And right above that is climbing swivels. And the reason why I like the climbing swivels over these industrial swivels is these ones spin so much better. And above that, I've actually connected a chain to it. And the reason for the chain is because the chain offers resistance to the spinning piece right here and keeps the rope from kinking up. That's one of the most common problems in most bucket setups, is that the top of the rope kinks. And then you have to spend 10 minutes unraveling it. With this resistance right here and the spinning pieces here, that is a problem of the past. Now this blue part right here makes it adjustable, so I can grab onto this latch and I can lower it down or I can raise it back up, which is great because sometimes you're using floor setups with handles and sometimes you're using mushroom setups that are much taller, so you can adjust it within seconds. And then pretty much the last point that I want to go over is you need to mount it as high as possible. The higher you mount it, the better. If you mount it quite low, then the angle is going to be quite extreme, and it's very difficult to do circles when the bucket is pulling you this way. It needs to be as vertical as possible so it's easy to do the circles. Okay, and I think that is pretty much it. Yep.